Hello and welcome back to the course on Python programming. In the previous tutorial, we finally created our first visualization, so congratulations on that. It's a big step. I know it doesn't look that too impressive yet, but it's already a huge step and you should be proud of yourself for getting this far in this course. And today we're going to add more lines or more players to this visualization so we can compare them side by side on one chart. All right, are you ready for this? Let's get straight into it. So more visualization. All right. So what we want to do is we're going to take this plot and we're going to copy this first line. And so what that does, it'll add a second line to the plot. So we like building the plot. We're adding elements to the plot until we actually show that plot. This one, let's say we want red. It's going to be a player with index 1. And here, let's change, so we'll keep the line style like that, but we'll change the marker to, well, let's keep it like this for now, and let's first run it, so Shift Enter. So you can see there's our second player, but this time we'll change the marker to a circle, so just an O. So you can see there's our second player, so a bit more of a consistent trend and ended up in the same spot, even though Kobe Bryant was earning way more throughout the past 10 years. All right, so what I wanted to show you here is, first of all, lines. So if you Google matplotlib or pyplot line styles, you can get to this page. So this is a matplotlib.org website, and here they've got the documentation. And here for line styles, so you can see all of the different parameters that you're able to specify. We're only using some of them, as you can see. And that's what I meant when I was saying that we're not going to learn everything, because it's virtually impossible to learn everything. We're only going to learn the bits that we need. And then if you need more things as you go along, you can always look them up. Kind of a lean approach to learning a programming language. So line style, here we've got solid, dash, dotted. You can use words, or you can use, as we did, just symbols. So here, I'm just going to zoom in a bit. We just use that double dash in our line style. And then markers, same thing. If you Google for pyplot markers, you'll get to this page. Eventually you'll get to this page, and here you can see the different markers that you have. So we're kind of using right now, what are we using? We're using the O for the circle, and we're using, somewhere here it was the S, there it is, the S for the square. So we're going to use more different ones, but it just helps make the visualization more segregated so you can see the different players separately, not just the colors differentiate them, but also the different styles of the markers. That's 2 players so far. Okay, going good. So far we know this one is Kobe Bryant. This one is a player with index number 1. I should actually look him up. Who is that? Here, let's have a look. Joe Johnson. Next one's going to be LeBron James. All right, so let's add another one. Yeah. So we'll just take this, we'll copy it here, and we'll just go add another one. So that'll be 2. It'll be LeBron James. Let's say green, and we'll use the hat icon. So if we run this, you'll see that that's for triangle. You'll see that we're kind of slowly getting more and more, right? What will happen when we have 4? Let's do another one. I'll just do it on the same plot. So what will happen now if we add another one, 3, and here we're going to say blue, and here we're going to say D. So actually I would suggest if you could follow the same colors and markers so that when we perform the analysis, we have the same picture that we're looking at. So if I run this, you can see we already have quite a lot on one chart, and we're not even halfway through them. So how can we add something that will tell us which player we're looking at? So how can we basically add a legend to our chart? That's going to be an interesting step for us. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to copy these lines, create a new one. And what I want to add a legend. It's not that hard, especially that we've been saving these labels. As you can see, we can't see them on the chart, but we've been saving them. So every line on this chart has a label attached to it. That's going to help us. So now we're going to add a legend, which will pick up these labels. So we'll just say plt.legend. That's how you create a legend in pyplot. And then we'll say, so lock is location, or where you want to lock the, either way you can remember it, where you want to lock the legend. So let's just for now, let's get rid of that, and let's just run this like it is. So here you can see that we've got a legend, right? And it's in the way, it's on our chart. How do we fix that up? How do we change that? Well, the way to do it is we'll say lock equals upper left, And what that means is that we want to take the upper left corner of our legend, so not the chart, but the legend. It has this box. We want to take the upper left corner, and where do we want to place it? Well, we want to place it, the next parameter is, I know this one is a bit lengthy, bbox underscore 2 underscore anchor equals, and then you need to pass a tuple where you want to lock it in. So based on your chart, so if this is the chart's length, this is 1 and this is 1 in terms of x and y, where do you want to place it? So if you say 1 1, that means 1 horizontal length and 1 vertical length. So we want to lock this corner of this legend to this corner of the chart. So let's run that. You'll see that that's exactly what happened. So if, for instance, I say, what will happen if I say 0 here? Right? Where did the legend go? It went to the bottom because we want only 1 length on the x-axis and we want 0 lengths on the y-axis. If I place 0 0 here, then this top left corner will end up in the bottom there. So that's how we can move around the legend, and you don't have to lock the left corner. You can say upper right, then this upper right corner will be locked in over there. So let's try that. You see, it's ended up over here. So you can move this legend around, and I highly encourage you to do that so you can give this a bit of practice to see what's going on. So here you could say 0.5, 0.5, the top right corner end up in the middle of the chart, right? Exactly like that. It's totally up to you where you'd like to place it. I'm going to put it in over here because we have some space there. That's right outside the chart, looks nice. And as we get more players, it will start growing. It won't affect our chart. But it's always good to know that you have that flexibility and control over where the legend goes. So that's how we add the legend. Maybe I'll just add a comment here, adding a legend. All right, and now we're just going to continue with our players. There's quite a few to go, but nevertheless, we're going to go through them. So what I wanted to mention is, while I'm doing this, by the way, this is going to be magenta in terms of color. What I wanted to mention is that this is not the best approach to creating this visualization, obviously. Obviously, there are other approaches which are better, but at the same time, it's a very good approach because it allows us to build this chart step by step. That's the first thing. And second thing is, as you will see further down in this specific section of the course, this approach will allow us to actually practice building functions. So it will prompt us to create our own function. It'll be a very valuable skill to have, very valuable tutorial. So bear with me as we create this. In fact, I'm just going to probably cut the video from here to when I'm finished, and then you'll just have the actual results, and then you can just copy along. All right, so there we go. That's all 10 players. As you can see, we recycled some of the colors, and we even recycled some of the markers, but because they're going in a different order, we never have the same color with the same marker, and that gives us that variety, so we can still visualize all the players. So that is how the salaries matrix looks like, and that is already a great start for us. So you can already compare. You can see that Kobe Bryant was always at a much higher salary, and don't forget, this is in tens of millions of dollars. And then some players, caught up to him, and you can explore different players in terms of how their salaries were changing. And you can always take this same visualization and just copy it here and put in a different matrix. For instance, you can look at how many games each one of those players played. So if we just do that very quickly, and so if I run this now, you'll see that is the games matrix. Very interesting as well. So you can see how many games on those players played in every single one of those seasons. You can see the injuries. So who's that? That's Derrick Rose, injured there, and then Derrick Rose and Kobe Bryant injured in the 2013 season. All right, some very interesting insights. And as you can see, this is much more insightful and much easier to read than just looking at the tables that we were talking about previously. So hope you're enjoying this. Hope you're excited about what we're creating so far. Further down in this section, we'll refine it even further. And for now, I encourage you to play around with that. So just copy this whole code into a new cell and replace the matrix with a different one, and try explore different matrices, and even some of the ones that you created, some of the matrices that you created through division or other operations, and see what insights you can gather now that you have this powerful tool of visualization in your arsenal. And I'll see you in the next tutorial. Until then, happy coding.